I feel that my skills have progressed immensely from the preliminary task. From the prelim, I had no idea how to edit or realistically film, but moving on from that to the coursework overall, the main focus of it, I have a better understanding of the editing software and the equipment, because now I can fully understand how to use plugins like Pixel Poly and things like that on Adobe After Effects, whereas before I had no idea how to use anything or how to edit anything correctly or use the software. In terms of camera work, in the preliminary task, I had no idea really how to shoot the different angles, and when we did shoot them, they came out quite not as well as we'd hoped. But moving on now to this large piece of coursework, it's a lot easier to understand where and how we're supposed to shoot them, which makes it a lot easier to work with. The difficulties which we faced during the creation of the coursework were things such as editing with lighting, because there was a great issue when we filmed at a certain part of the day, and filming in the same room for the shot afterwards, the lighting was different because we'd started filming as the sun was going down, so it was gradually getting darker, which was an issue for us in the editing, and that's why we used opacity to create more darkness in one scene. So there's a slight issue with the lighting, but we tried to fix that as best as we possibly could. There was also a few shaky camera shots, which was quite a big issue due to the fact that we were supposed to keep the shot steady, but it seems that the tripod wasn't as sturdy as we hoped it be. We hadn't tightened it enough. There was also an accidental a canted camera angle, which we didn't really want in the final edition of the coursework, so we used Adobe Premiere Pro CS5 to straighten out the shot so it looks like normal. Another issue was mise-en-scène, because during editing we realised that the mise-en-scène for the shot in the bedroom was not correct, and it didn't suit the flow of the film. But by this point we were so far in the editing and it was so near the deadline that we couldn't go back to refilm. I believe that we did meet up to the most of the brief that we received, because we did create a thriller, and it does have the key codes and conventions of the thriller, including suspense and cliffhangers. But I think that we did fall short of certain things in the production, such as camera angles and the way it was actually shot. I personally am pleased with the edit overall, such as the credits and the title, and the placement of the music I found to be quite effective during the editing, and this was also agreed with by the audience who we test viewed it with. The things I'm not happy with the production are the shots that were not shot very well, and also the mise-en-scène, because I personally believe that they could have been fixed. Compared to professional thrillers, I believe that our coursework had the codes and conventions of a thriller, and it had a good plot device which does match it up to a lot of more mainstream films. However, the issues which made it not substantial to a professional production would be the issues with the way the film was shot, because it wasn't very professional, and there were a lot of issues with the filming which could have been changed and made a lot more professional, and a lot more steady shots would have been appropriate and more close-ups. If I could change anything about the production, I would change the way it was filmed, I would change the location, and I would change the mise en scène. For the location, I quite liked the way it was snowing outside because it gave a more eerie, cold effect. However, I feel that we should have not shot it in the bedroom and instead shot it inside the living room, which was a lot more grown up and a lot more sophisticated than what looks like a teenager's bedroom. And this also applies for the mise en scène.